Did you ever follow up on the guy that was running or training for the Olympics that got voted for?
So this is a story that appeared on Laura Ingraham, where a guy who was training for the Olympics got called by the Voter Integrity Fund. The guy, Matt Brainerd.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. What happened with that?
So they call this dude, his name is Nahshon Garrett. He's training for the Olympics in Tennessee. He's from Arizona, but he moved there 5 months ago, changes his address, voted in Tennessee because he's going to be in the Olympics. This guy is not some random dude who got a phone call. This guy's got a Wikipedia entry. He's a well-known collegiate wrestler. He's apparently really good. So he appeared on Laura Ingraham. He said he got a phone call from the Voter Integrity Fund asking if he had requested a mail-in ballot in Arizona. Well, no, of course not. I'm in Tennessee. Did you vote? No, I voted in Tennessee.
Boom.
So who did it?
I'm interviewing Matt Brainerd again on Thursday.
Oh, cool.
They told me, I talked to his people today. They told me they've got a lot of stuff to report. They're feeling very good about their results. I don't know if it's going to be hundreds of thousands or whatever, but if it's 10, 20, 30, you get guys like this, a prominent,
free certifications,
actual legit person.
Yeah, definitely a prominent. Yeah, that's huge.
This guy, he's got a Wikipedia page, man, for his. But look, there's standards. Not that Wikipedia is the best source, especially right now, but there are standards for what qualifies. This guy is a college wrestler who's won a bunch of things and generated press because of it, and he's going to be he's training for he's going to be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So this is This is the kind of guy that could be on a Wheaties box.
This is not some random dude. We had that thing on Twitter just a couple of days ago, the whole Maiden Gate. And
I don't know enough about that though, but
it was just trending on Twitter. It was this one kind of activist journalist found that if you're a woman and then if you were previously married in another state in this whole situation, and it's just compiling and
so I'm careful with that stuff.
Yeah, I am too.
Too much random Twitter
she got
people.
Zapped for that.
But more importantly, if we see on the Voter Integrity Fund, they're doing phone calls, right? They've already reported they've found thousands, in each state, of people who changed their addresses to different states but still voted. Here's the crazy thing. So this is the kind of thing where it's we have definitive proof. Tweets I can't really do much with, right? But check this out. If this dude Nahshon Garrett, I think, if he didn't vote and he's publicly saying wasn't me, somebody voted in my name and it wasn't me. Think about all of these numbers, because Matt Brainerd said they found 8,000, 10,000, 14,000 in each of these states. You may have moved because of COVID, but then because you're still registered and it was only a few months ago you moved, right?
Right.
So the mail-in ballot comes to your mailbox, somebody sends it in. Mm-hmm. But the crazy thing is, in some of these states, you had to request it. Nevada, I believe, was the only swing state that was universal mail-in ballots, where they just sent them all out.
California too. They just sent them all out.
And the courts just ruled against Newsom, saying he wasn't allowed to do that.
Yeah, I just interviewed Kevin Kiley, who's the Republican lawmaker in California, who's really fighting Newsom. It seems like he's gaining a lot of momentum, and we'll see what happens with all that. But at least we have someone in California sticking up to him.
Let's put one thing to rest. It is obvious, seeing how Sidney Powell has mobilized, seeing how Linwood is mobilized, seeing how Brainerd has mobilized, seeing how there's a giant crowdsourcing effort underway. None of them were prepared for this beforehand.
Yeah.
There is no credence to any story that Trump has laid some trap and that he was mega prepared and he had all this lined up and was ready to go. Zero. Because the people who are doing the work right now should have been contacted before, should have been prepared. Brainerd had a vacation scheduled with his wife and family. He had to cancel it.
You're not supposed to say this, Jack.
His wife was really mad. I know, but you know what?
Turn on Newsmax.
Shout out to Matt Brainerd.
I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. And that's on brand for me. But that isn't there. That wasn't there. That pre-work wasn't there. That's not to say this isn't real. But it wasn't a trap.
So what you're saying is don't trust the plan. What you're saying is that they didn't really know in advance. They weren't
I'm
sure.
turning on Newsmax.
I've heard too much where I'm like, dude, they think Trump's playing 12th dimensional chess. it's full on string theory for Trump, M theory. No, look, man. They've got their plans. They say they're getting evidence. I say, bring it on. I look forward to seeing it. But I'll tell you this. It comes and goes in waves a bit, right? So they announced the Biden wins, and I'm like, wow, I guess, is that it? Is no one saying anything? I'm like, I guess they're calling it for Biden. But then all of a sudden we start seeing these weird things pop up. Sworn affidavits, whistleblower from the post office. Poll watchers are saying, I can't see anything. And it starts to get weird, like, oh, maybe Trump might have something. Now we're seeing that the Supreme Court's not going to take up one of his claims. A bunch of other citizen lawsuits got thrown out. And it's hard to know exactly if Trump's going to be able to pull something, pull off this like last ditch Hail Mary. But then you get this story about this Clark County Commission. I have to imagine Trump's lawyers are immediately filing full speed, like throw the whole thing out. It's 153K votes. But I'll tell you what the craziest thing was. When I woke up this morning, it was actually last night I think I saw the story, but this morning, the story, Donald Trump drops key claim from his lawsuit that 700,000 ballots were compromised by a lack of poll watching. And I went, wow.
Okay, I saw that too.
I saw this. I said, that's it. That's the only way Trump wins Pennsylvania. He's dropping this from his suit. Well, certainly Trump must be done, right? Turns out it was a lie. Like Washington Post just straight up lied. Oh shit. And Politico wrote the story saying Trump drops key claim from lawsuit or pulls back. And I'm reading it's like now that Trump is no longer going after this claim, he won't be able to flip enough votes to win Pennsylvania. And then I open the lawsuit and I go to Rudy Giuliani tweets about it. He says, go read it. It's in there. It's all in there. They didn't take any of it out. Why did Politico, Washington Post, Daily Mail, all of these outlets just publish like the most insanely fake news I've ever seen? Listen, I read fake news. I see it all the time. What they do is framing devices because they want to make sure they can say, oh, well, actually, you look at Covington, right? The Covington kids on the stairs of the Lincoln Memorial. And you've got this video and you say, well, there was a video, so we thought it was correct. That's how they try and get away with it. This story, you could literally just read the document. And it says there was not meaningful access. 682,000 votes were cast without access. So they're calling for PA to be, they're calling for injunctive relief to stop the certification process because there is no other meaningful relief. You can't throw the ballots out. What do? It was in violation of the election code in Pennsylvania. I wonder, why did all of these outlets come out and claim Trump gave up? Trump's dropping the key component. That's it. He's got nothing left. It's over. Is it to try and convince people that Trump is not going to pull this off, that Trump is losing? I tell you this, to quote Michael Malice, if they weren't losing, they wouldn't, let me try it again. If they weren't losing, the propaganda wouldn't be necessary.
Exactly.
That's what Michael said.
Yes.
Now, of course, propaganda, they always use it. But I got to tell you, man, this is the freakiest thing to read all of these articles from all these different news websites. Straight up fake.
But dude, the tax story, right?
Right.
It says
fake.
$750 paid. But then you read the actual article, and even down at the bottom, it's like, oh yeah, Trump actually prepaid
X amount, 5.6 million,
X amount of millions of dollars, basically made an interest-free loan to the federal government, and at this point didn't have to pay because he had already prepaid.
But
it's
listen,
in there, but they don't ever talk about it in the headlines. That's fake.
Right. So the New York Times puts out this story about Donald Trump's taxes, never verified it. We have no idea if they actually have any tax documents. Trump says they don't. It says in the beginning, Trump only paid $750. Then, like you said, you go down, it says actually Trump paid $1 million in 2016 and 4.2 in 2017 as a holdover for potential liabilities. That trick is a framing device. Okay, so that's not on the level we're seeing now.
I see.
What they did was they're like, well, he paid he paid his bill of $750, but he did pay. So they're doing a semantic argument, right?
Yeah.
With this over Trump's lawsuit, they come out and they were like, hey everybody, Trump gave up. Trump gave up. His lawsuit's over. He can't win anymore.
Are they news guarded?
Yes, all of them.
Of course they are.
Will they
all
lose
of them.
news guard
nope,
status?
Of course not.
Why
Absolutely not.
Because should they?
Yes.
Yes and yes.
This is crazy.
Yo, we should build a fact-checking network like you've been talking about, but also a context-checking network. When they show videos, and if it's only like a 17-second, be like, this is missing context.
Yes. But listen,
that'd be so awesome.
The bigger question here is, how could this possibly be negligence when all you have to do is click the document from Trump, from his website, and scroll down? It took me a minute, and I read Rudy Giuliani tweets, read paragraphs 132 to 150, and I'm like, okay, and I clicked it and I read it, and I'm like, sounds like they're saying 100 or 682,000 votes were counted without watchers in violation of election code, and thus there's no meaning for relief other than injunction. Makes sense. Then I look at all these articles, and I'm second guessing myself. Because I'm thinking, what am I getting wrong here? What am I missing on this? How could all of these outlets say this?
Was there a technical thing like he withdrew a motion for X, but like they're actually taking Y?
Politico straight up said, by dropping this, Trump will no longer be able to overturn enough votes to claim Pennsylvania.
Got it. I mean,
that's insane.
I saw
he wasn't even trying to. He was calling for us to free certification, an injunction.
I saw a headline, our front page. It was either New York Times or Washington Post that says like, something, 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 despite no evidence of fraud.
Really?
None.
Zero. Right.
Zero. Not caveated, not widespread, not anything. And this is why it's impossible to talk to your old friends. This is why it's impossible to go on Facebook and talk to people you knew from high school, because CNN seems legit. Dude, New York Times seems legit. Washington Post seems legit.
Tim, we literally have a part of the country who looks at Trump as like literally Hitler.
Yes.
Like this guy's literally Hitler. So I mean, I don't know where we go forward with this country.
I feel bad for them. I have empathy. I have empathy for these people because they've been brainwashed. Just like I said last time on here, they've been beaten over the head. They've been abused. They've been tortured by their own party. And now they're just dancing like little scared marionettes.
I think we're winning.
Yeah, like that one journalist from
one
journalist from CNN, and she just did like her whole monologue on how Trump is basically Hitler, and we're living in
Christian Amanpour
in Nazi
I
Germany.
remember when I thought she was the most like legitimate, authentic.
Jack.
You could trust her.
No, dude.
In my life.
The prime minister from Israel literally told her like, you better issue
Yes,
an apology.
thank you. Yes.
Listen, thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.